Hi, folks. So today I'm going to go over my January budget and I'll do kind of a weekly check-in like I did last month and we'll see how I do. Hopefully better than last month because I spent some places where I shouldn't have. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't plan for things the way that I should have, and I think I've got everything covered now. We'll see. So I have an important note for myself for 2021. That's to make sure I max out my HSA before June. And the reason I need to do that, or I just need to kind of keep in my head that I'm maybe going to need to do that, is because the promotion that I'm looking for may not include, that might actually have me going to work for a completely different district. And they may not give the option of a high deductible HSA plan in either that position or that particular district. So if I end up having to go onto a traditional plan, I won't be able to put any more money in my HSA. So I want to kind of max it out while I'm still eligible to do so. But I do need to do some research. I honestly really have no idea if I'm even allowed to do that. I always max it out. And if I can, I would rather do that, even if I can really only spend that money and or just wait for it to grow in an investment. But um, I have to do some research there, but that's going to probably stay at the top as an important note, just so that it reminds me to do that research. It reminds me that I may need to put the money in. I will at that point be about halfway there, so I'll just need to funnel the rest in. So the budget itself, this is a weird month. It's a 3-pay month for me, which meant yay, more money. But it's also the month that the stimulus check is going to drop. I actually can already see it. I've been seeing it in my bank account. My bank is awesome about showing like pending checks. Um, and even though it was going to drop on the 4th, which is 2 days from when I'm recording this, I can see it now, so I can see that I'm getting it. So I did put that in there under my other income. Of course, my mother's contribution to my student loan and our phone bill is in there as well. And then I've added to another income line. So if you did not see my December video, so the odd number weeks are my day job. I actually get paid at the same time. I know that you're looking at this thinking like, well, there's not 6 weeks in a month, girl. Just for my brain, it works easier this way. I get paid at the same time for both. So, I didn't want to have like week 1, week 2, because it's all week 1. I wanted to make sure I had a separation between the two jobs. So, week 1 and week 3 are my day job. And then week 2 and week 4 are that's the part-time job. Week 5 then is like the odds, 1s and 3s. That's my third pay in my main job. And then this is my third pay in my other job. And like if you saw in my December budget video, I don't really know what I'm going to make because it's just based on however many hours I worked that week. I don't ever go under 250. I mean, that's pretty low. That's more like if I took off a week or two, then I might be under 250. But for the most part, like it's actually going to be more around like 350-ish to 450 on average. But I leave at the 250 because that really is the bare minimum. It is variable. So I just kind of leave it at the bare minimum, and then knowing like whatever above and beyond, pretty much everything in that job though is going towards whatever my money goals are. I try to budget without doing it because I don't want to keep this job forever. So really it's just all of that just gets thrown on whatever goal I have at the time. My current goal, I'm sorry, I just ate and so now I'm like, I've got like a froggy throat. I get that from my grandmother. Um, where was I? Okay, so I put 250 in there as the bare minimum, and it's usually going to be more than that. I will come back in when I actually get the paycheck. This check actually already came. It came last week, and I don't really know why they decided to do it early and not on the 4th, like what makes the most sense, but they did not. So I just waited to plug it into this income, even though I got it before January. Because then it was going to throw me off, because then I would be like, wait a minute, why didn't I get any income? Yeah. So the actual total income right now is $63.60 and 19 cents. Not bad. I wish I made that all the time, but I don't. Now, with that in mind, we can look at the expenses. Oh, and I actually got this. There's a free budget template download from Budget Girl, and I got that on from her website, I think. She does have an Etsy shop and like a more fancy version of this that she sells on her Etsy shop, so definitely check that out. Check out her videos too, because she's so inspiring and she's just adorable. So my mortgage this month, same as it is every month. My electrical this month, and my gas. Now, technically this is like what is from last month, but I pay it this month. And that's just easier for me to budget. Like, I don't want to have to sit here and be like, well, I think maybe I'll just budget 45, and then it ends up being 39, and then I have some kind of overage and stuff. And so to me, this just makes the most sense. And I know what this is because I get those bills before the previous month is up. So in fact, the first ones I get in there, that's when I get my email from them that reminds me the bill is there, then that's my cue to start finalizing my budget. There's my cell phone, same as it always is. My sewer is, ooh, that's different. Oh, wait a minute. I literally just got a letter today saying that they're upping it. It is going to be $58 now. And that actually reminds me, I need to, so I kind of plotted out like an annual budget of like my projected income, my projected expenses, and so on. And my sewer, I need to change to 58. That's a bummer. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, shoot, my water went up too. It went up something random though, like $2.12 or something like that. So I just remembered that. Yeah, I'm actually going to pause quick because I almost never go over the minimum required. In fact, if I go back through and look through all of my pay stubs, all of my bill stubs from my water bill, there might be like 5 times in 4 years when I went over. And one of those cases, I had a ridiculous running toilet that took me forever to try to fix. Like, well, that's not quite accurate. It took us forever to actually get fixed because we kept we thought we fixed it, we thought it was fine, and then it would run again, and then we thought I fixed it, So we just kind of went round and round for a while. But yeah, so let me see if I can find the actual price of that so that this is accurate then. So I'm gonna pause, but it's gonna look like a weird edit probably to you guys. Minimum payment is, where's my water? $18.97, and that starts in for the month of January, but it's February's billing cycle. So that $16.50 still counts for December. Now I haven't actually gotten my bill yet. Did I say $18.97? I better write it in there before I forget it. I haven't actually gotten the bill for this yet. But again, because I very rarely go over. I just send, I have a 1650 on auto pay, and then when I actually get, it comes in like a little card, and when I get the card in the mail, that's when I will just, if I have to add more, I add more then, and it's usually like $1 or 2, if that. So, I mean, this includes like, I barely go over like, even when I'm like watering my garden, I use very, very, very little water. Okay, so let's go back to January and let's put, oh, no, this is fine, but I am going to make a note up here. To change the water for $18.97. And I think I sent them $58 when I got this thing in the mail, but I think it's kind of the same thing with the water. I think I'm safe this month, but I thought just to be sure, like I don't want to owe them money, so I'd rather have an overage of $3 and have them like and just do like 55 next month, you know, to kind of even it out. So we'll see. But at any rate, I thought better safe than sorry, because I technically, like, I send it off automatically anyway, but we normally get this, like, we normally get like a coupon book thing. And this doesn't, then people like, you know, you rip off the coupon, you put it in the mail, and I just do like automatically. I just pay through my bank. It's not a big deal. So I just kind of take the coupon book and I mark off that I've paid something when I've paid it, but that's about it. Kind of like the book you get when you for your mortgage payments. So they're moving into a new system and what have you. So I'm fine with it, but I wasn't sure if it was starting this month or next month. The letter itself wasn't really very clear. So moving on. All right, garbage. I have had to up garbage because they had a fuel surcharge that increased the amount that I had to pay. So that is something that I pay yearly. And so I just create a sinking fund. That's what that SF stands for. It's just a sinking fund for, you know, my garbage, and I pay it every December. Groceries, I've again budgeted myself $200 for groceries. That is way more than I usually do. And I'm actually trying pretty hard to just eat the food that I have in my house, partly because of the pandemic, partly because I stocked up and I have food and I need to eat it. And I don't want it to go to waste. So I will probably only, I'll probably head out tomorrow to just get salad mix. But I'm going to have to look and see like what I might be able to have enough stuff for lunch that I don't really need to go out for anything. So I'll have to check tomorrow, and look at all of that. Car, I left the same, $296. 109 of that is moved into a sinking fund already for my car insurance, which gets paid every 6 months, and kind of a repair fee, you know, oil changes, light goes out, whatever, to take care of all of that. My life insurance is $7.50. I gave myself $150 this month to spend in personal, and that is because I hope to go skiing at some point this month. That's also why the gas is a little bit, or the car's a little bit higher, because the car will include gas, but I don't utilize really a lot of gas if I drive to work, and because I live relatively close. In fact, I walk most of the time. And, you know, I do absolutely want to go skiing this January, so hopefully the weather will be conducive to that. And if so, I wanted to include money for at least one lift ticket, if not more. Right now, nothing budgeted to get for my mom or dad, nothing for work. Like, this just makes me laugh. There's not going to be any reimbursement anytime soon because there's no place to go. There's no travel, there's no meetings, there's no nothing. But I keep it in there in the event that I, in the future, will have that. I had it in the past. Next up is house and garden. I was thinking about upping this a little bit. There is nothing in my monthly Amazon auto ship. I went in to see like what was supposed to be coming this week or this month, and I honestly don't need any of it, so I decided to skip it. Skip all of them, and then we'll see. We'll reevaluate next month if we need any of those. Um, as far as the personal goes, it is too late to cancel my Audible, but I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to next month. I love Audible, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I'm spending a lot of money for something that I don't have a lot of time to use right now. So I may go back to it eventually. It's just right now I really don't. It would probably be a little different if I had like a decent commute to work or something like that. Then I would, if I was going to be listening to like a book for a half hour, 45 minutes a day, might be a little bit different. But between like my classes and my internship, 2 jobs, like I just don't have a lot of time to listen to anything. So I am considering canceling that. It's not a lot, but between this and I'm probably gonna cancel my Washington Post because frankly, reading the news anymore is it's just a drag. It just is. So I did enjoy it. I probably had this subscription for about 4 years, and I do enjoy the Post, and I like reading the writers that are hired there, but I just am kind of to the point where like, ooh, it's a bit of a drag. So I feel like between the two of these, it's like an extra $20 a month that I could spend another way. I don't really know. The gym, I'm not entirely sure why I keep paying for this. I really should just cancel for right now. I go for swimming, and with some of the problems that I've been having with my back, I feel like I am going to need to swim more for exercise, and the Y has, I mean, that's my gym, has a pool. However, it's not really all about going and huffing and puffing in a pandemic with an airborne virus. It's just, it seems really dumb, and I'm not going to do it. So I thought actually once they, like, more tighter restrictions came down, I thought that they would just cancel. They did a few months over the spring and summer. They weren't allowed to be open so that they didn't take any of our membership fees. And I was kind of expecting that to happen again, but it seems to have not. So I think I'm going to have to call and cancel because, yeah, that's disappointing. I'd like to see where the next, month or two goes, but oh well. My iCloud, I think I'm going to have to change that because I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to be total. I upped my package, but I think that they applied some of what I had already paid towards the package and then kind of prorated the rest. So that actually is not going to be accurate. I don't know what that is going to be with tax and everything. So that'll change by a couple of bucks here or there. Not the end of the world. Restaurants. I gave myself $40 for restaurants. I didn't even use all 40 last month. And I'm going to try very hard not to do that. The problem is, and this is, if you watch my debt video in a couple of days, you'll hear me talk a little bit about my part-time job, and it's been kind of a drag, to be honest. And there's reasons that I kept it, which makes sense at the time, and still do kind of make sense, but it gets to the point where like it's a bit of a drag. And it gets really frustrating to deal with, and it's a huge block of time in my day. And sometimes I get to the point where like I just come home, I'm stressed out, I don't want to eat, or I want to eat, but I don't want to cook anything, or I don't have time to cook anything because I have all this stuff to grade and it's piling up and what have you. And so I end up just kind of running out for some fast food, which is not great, but I do want to kind of keep that budget, that wiggle room in my budget for that. And then debt payments this month, those are minimum payments, and then I will have additional payments. Now, right after my debt payoff video, the one that is going to launch in a couple of days, I actually put a huge chunk of money already toward my debt. I took what was left over to my budget in December. Or maybe it was after my budget wrap-up video. Maybe that's what it is. Um, yes, it's my budget wrap-up video that's going to drop in a couple of days. Um, and I show you there that I put on an extra, I think, $1,400, $1,471, something like that. So that leaves my loan amount, my personal loan amount, at $571.99. So I will make this payment on it, and then I will have $344.48 left over. I will pay that off this month, so yay! Realistically, I could probably pay it off right now, but I'm gonna wait until my money drops. Let's see, what else is there? Sinking funds, they're all set up, ready to go. Nothing's going to go to escrow or my admin cert. Not adding anything to the cushion that's there. My car insurance sinking fund goes. My garbage started in the negative because they upped the price. So I put the 15 in there. That gives me 505 left in that. I will be paying this month. And I will, when I do actually do that, I'll take that money out. And my insurance, I think I'll probably get the bill. It's February and August, so I'll probably get the bill at some point today, some point this month. I should get that bill, and so at that point I will probably then just go ahead and pay it, so that I like to pay them when they come in, because then I know I've paid them and I've taken care of them. And if I set them aside and wait for it, it'll be like March and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't pay this. So I don't want to do that for myself. So that's the game plan. I am absolutely hoping at this point, it looks like, let's see, I'm going to have an extra $3,800 from the income this month. And it'll probably be more than that, because to get $250 for each of those pays, probably not going to happen. Probably going to be more than that. So I think it looks like, based on like what I've budgeted, I'm probably going to have an extra $4,000, which is sweet. So, the $4,000, and then whatever expenses are left over will be there to add to it. And, ooh, I can take this HSA payment out. I don't need to pay that. So that's pretty sweet, y'all. $4,000. Remember, my Citibank card only has $4,600 on it. And the payment I will make this month that's included in the budget is $100. So that would knock it down to $4,500. And if I can put $4,000 on it this month, that leaves me with, ooh, that's really exciting. I just thought of that. That's going to leave me with $500 to pay it off in February. How freaking cool. How cool would that be? And then 2, boom, done! And I can move on to crushing my student loan. Love it. I love it. That's going to be fantastic. But that is also contingent on me staying on my plan here. I'm a little concerned about this house garden thing. I definitely know that I need to figure out some solution for keeping the squirrels away. They like their feeder, however, they also really like the bird feeder still. So I need to do something, and that might mean, like, I may need to buy something to keep the squirrels away from where I put the bird feeder. I don't know how much that's going to cost. I very, very, very desperately need to hang new curtain rods. I don't know how to do that. That may include me buying them. Well, no, I've already bought the curtain stuff. And I definitely need some new curtains. That being said, I can take some of the curtains that I have downstairs and put them upstairs, because I need something more like hefty and more thick. I wake up every morning with like congestion because it's so cold where my head sleeps. And I need better curtains up there, and the curtain rods that were already there before were kind of a hot mess. And part of me thinks that, like, I would like to do it myself, and then there's a part of me that really doesn't want to do it at all. Because I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm thinking it would be better just to hire someone to do it, but I also don't want anybody in my house, and I'm going to sneeze, so that's why my face is making a weird face. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Paused it quick so you didn't have to hear me sneeze because I'm a screecher when I sneeze. Um, so yeah, so I really like I need to fix that. That needs to get taken care of. If for no other reason than to try to keep the freaking heat inside my house upstairs. And so far it hasn't been terrible because but it also hasn't been super duper cold. So that's gonna be a problem ultimately. And I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't want to make it worse, but something has to be done. And truthfully, the sooner the better. So with that in mind, like that may end up having to change because I just have to get somebody in to do it. Like I said, I really don't want to though because I don't want strangers in my house. But that is what the current budget looks like. Um, I don't really have any personal expenditures that I'm thinking of that I would need. Um, Usually this time is kind of when I start to look at seeds and order plants and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm staying in this house, so I don't really want to plant anything. This is also usually the time I have one of those little grow light things. I would start getting seeds to plant those, but again, like I just don't want to. I don't want any more stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't really anticipate a lot of expenditures this month, and I think we're still going to be on, kind of a quasi lockdown, and things are still going to be a bit crazy. I do have to get some storage bins though, um, some bigger ones. I think for well, we'll see. We'll see. I might be able to get away with it. I need to. I took my tree out today, and I think that I do think that I'm going to need a storage bin to store my ornaments and stuff in. A lot of them were like stored in one big tub, but it had like my brother's ornaments, my ornaments, my parents' ornaments, the family ornaments, things like that. So those are going back to my mother, and I'm keeping mine. So I'll need something to put mine specifically in. But I do have a bin that has some stuff. I'm just not sure if the ornaments will also fit in there. And if they do, great. Perfect. No problem. But that's kind of on the horizon for me there. Like I might need something. That's what the budget looks like for January. I will check in. I think what I'm going to do, this is a Saturday, and it is January 2nd that I'm filming, but I think I'm just going to try to check in on every Saturday for weeks, my week 1, week 2, week 3 check in, and then I'll do kind of a wrap up for the end of the month. And we will go from there. And in that wrap up, I think I'll include the debt payoff stuff as well. Bye, everyone. Have a great 2021. It can't possibly get worse, can it? Hopefully not.